Are rest with health department, with education department, with the employment related authorities. So it's important that all the departments who have a responsibility are made aware of what their responsibilities are. And when we take this program to the district level, we hope to also include district level officials as well as disabled people's groups and families and the community members as well at that level also. Yeah.
I must admit that as far as the media is concerned, we have done very little when it comes to the coverage of rights of the disabled. To a point that even now, most of us are uncomfortable with covering the issue because we don't know how. And I believe that every time we've reached out, we've tried to cover this issue. We've had to look for proper documents, and usually there are some UN documents that we follow, not just for the coverage of disability, but for suicide and other big issues. We always refer to a document. And I think this booklet that has been made will make it very easy for us to understand really the right usage, what are the issues pertaining to disability rights. So this works as a guide for all of us to follow. This was much needed, and I hope that this is also presented in a digital form as well.
In 6 of these Guwahati-based newspaper, I couldn't find any, because nothing was happening. We all have a tendency of running after things that happen. And most of our editors, they also have a tendency of identifying a story only when it happens. So we don't have any of those stories.
Nothing to add. I just want to come and just listen to Arman. Listening to Arman is always refreshing. I don't even remember when I first met you.
I don't know. I mean, it's so difficult for me particularly to talk and not get angry. Especially when we talk about disabled people and disability. But today we are not here to bash Mr. Hilaly or the government of Assam, because the government of Assam is supporting this program, and we think this is one of its kind. In the country, not a single state in the country, G-Okale, enable program to create awareness on the rights of persons with disability act. No one in the country, not a single state.
We started off long time ago. In fact, the first awareness program that we did was for officials of the social welfare department from the districts. We had that in the staff college, and then we had a big sensitization of senior government officials, and that was training for the chief secretary. And this is the third in that entire scheme of things. And hopefully, like KTK said, we will touch roughly about 3,000 people, go down to the districts, to the blocks, create awareness on the one hand among the persons with disabilities, and on the other among government officials as to Shishu Sarothi is going to organize this, with the help of the district social welfare officers and the district collectors, and we're going to have similar interaction. And while we sensitize our officials about the rights of the disabled, we also sensitize persons, in the community about what rights are available and available to persons with disabilities. So this is something we have to do. It's going to be two-way, one for the officials and one for the people in the community. You'll get to hear about it. We are planning to have a scheme for empowering children who live in childcare institutions, and also their after-care support to the age of until the age of 24. We're still working on it. It's going to take some bit of time, but when it happens, it will be a game changer, I think.
We will, together with the department and with the Office of the Commissioner of Disabilities, carry out a series of programs, awareness programs with government officials at various levels, and the idea is to go at senior, middle, and even at the block and at the grassroots level, and do this at at zones across 5 zones across the state, and if I remember correctly, 25 districts in the state as well. And at the district level, we would like to also include people with disabilities, disabled people's organizations, and get them on board also. The idea is to create awareness about the provisions of the law for what we determine terms that I was mentioning earlier, we duty bearers and rights holders. So people with the rights need to know what their rights are, and the people who have an obligation to implement the provisions of the law, the duty bearers, they need to know what they have to do. And whilst doing this, we are hoping that to take media along to help us, effect the mindset change wanting to happen through this.
This is a much needed thing which is done. You don't see any campaign or any awareness specific to disability. There are campaigns when there's election that disabled people should vote, or when it comes to any other ongoing issue. But the idea of disability, what is disability? There's lack of general awareness amongst people. I think this is brilliant, and kudos to the government of Assam for coming up with these ideas. Yeah. I think it's very important that you cover a human story and put the real story out and use the right kind of terminologies. Try and change people's perception about disability. And there's certain stereotypes about disability. Either you play the victim, or you play a superhero, or you play, somebody special, and so on. So there has to be a very human rights angle to that, because even the poorest of poor people in the world, you'll find disabled people there, and 75% of children with disability are out of school. Unless this is reported, people with disability themselves don't know what are their rights and how to access it. And also the other, the mainstream society, the state, the government, they need to understand it. So, and unless you make that understand or make that very clear, it is difficult for people to start action. So if everything is honky-dory, you will only do welfare.